Hey, my name's Camden. I'm a full-time digital nomad, which means I've been jumping to a new country every single month for about the last 2.5 years. So today, I'm gonna show you what I've been traveling with and some of the things that have made travel just a little bit easier. So the first thing is my actual luggage. This thing. I had to look up who made this, and apparently it's the Skyway Luggage company. Full transparency, I did not buy this thing. You know, like when parents have something in the garage and you're like, ooh, can I take this? That's kind of what happened with this bad boy the day before I left. I was originally gonna do everything in a backpack, which we'll get to in a minute, but yeah, took this, it's been totally fine. It's an average carry-on suitcase, nothing fancy, nothing special. When I looked it up today, apparently it retails for like 80 bucks, or at least right now they're going to 80 bucks. I think normally it's like 160, but it served its purpose. It's been great, absolutely no complaints, but everything has fit in here. Yeah, I'm a bit of a minimalist, it's worked. But I might not actually be using that suitcase any longer because I've actually got this thing now. This is some suitcase from Level 8 Luggage. I'd never heard of them, but a few weeks ago they reached out and said, hey, would you want to review this luggage? We'll send you this for free and you can let your people know what it's about. So that's what I'm doing. You're my people in this case. So again, I did not buy this. They did send this for free. So I'm not gonna recommend it. I will wait a good 6 months to tell you if it actually holds up. But so far things have been pretty promising. The wheels are definitely a lot better than on my old suitcase. I had a really easy time getting this around the airport. I've only used it on one trip, but really what I wanted this for was for this feature right here, the handle. It actually is the full width of the suitcase, which is pretty unique because most carry-ons, like my old one, it's pretty small, right? And when you have that small one that cuts down the middle, two things happen. One, they get a little bit shaky, which I just don't love. And two, these things go right down the middle. So you know when you're packing and it's like, oh, I got these two weird beams going right through the middle where I'm trying to pack. I don't necessarily love that. And in this one, that problem is possibly solved. So this thing does feel a little bit sturdier. It was easier to navigate in the airport. And you do have the actual beam piece that goes like along the edges, which apparently is supposed to let you fit a little bit more into the suitcase. Only other things that jump out early is the zippers. Pretty good, not bad. On the inside, it's pretty standard. I mean, you have some good organization things. You do have this slot, which I guess is for like toiletries and stuff. They also have like that TSA lock thing. I don't know if I'm ever gonna use that. I haven't used those in the past when I've had that, so I don't know. I'll probably test it out and let you know, but they also sent me a big one. Sarah, my wife, is using this one. I'm gonna stick with the carry-on, but you can fit a lot of stuff in there. You know how most suitcases just have this handle? Well, this one actually has one right at the base in the front, so you can pick it up like this too. It's just a little bit more convenient. I'll give them a point for that. Thumbs up. So again, I did not pay for these. They did send these to me for free, but so far they've been pretty okay. Like I said, that first trip, I had a really easy time getting these through the airport. We'll see how it actually holds up over time. Check back in 6 months for my actual review. If you want to get one of these before seeing the full review, you can certainly do that. You can get 20% off right now, 10% if it's after November if you're watching it. All the links down in the description, and I'm gonna have a link to all the products that I show you. Some of them I might receive an affiliate commission. This one I definitely am. Others not so much, but all of it will be in the description. Anyways, next thing that has been huge for me, these things, packing cubes. Before I jumped abroad, I had never used packing cubes, but these packing cubes are actually pretty nice. These ones are from SUITEDNOMAD. I've been using this cube since I started travel and like it's in pretty good shape. This isn't one of those compression ones. This is a cheaper one. I think I got a set of like a few of these for like 20-25 bucks on Amazon. I had always been kind of a skeptic on these things, but since I tried it out, honestly, I wouldn't travel without one of these things. They are really nice, especially just for laundry. Like you can have clean items in one, dirty items in another. They come in different sizes. Like I normally have like socks and underwear in this one, bigger things here. It just helps with organization, and if you are going to do long-term travel, it is really helpful. And even if you're going on a short-term trip, it'll just help you stay organized, especially if you're using like a carry-on suitcase. If you're one of those people that always gets stopped by a TSA, somehow that still happens to me a lot. It's really nice when you open up your suitcase and instead of having just like a ton of stuff everywhere, you've got these things nicely organized and packed where they can get through it easy, you can, and you're not like sitting in the airport stuffing everything back into the bag. So yeah, definitely recommend these things. They've held up well. Also, if you want to follow along in our journey in moving to a new country every month, feel free to subscribe, join the crew. There's new videos every week. The next thing on my list is definitely the most expensive thing. I don't have many expensive things. This one definitely is. This is a backpack from Nomadic. This is the Peter McKinnon backpack. If you're a big YouTube fan and you know Peter McKinnon, he designed this with this company, and this thing is expensive, but in my opinion, pretty well worth it. I've had this for about 1.5 years now, and basically what's special about it is it really helps somebody like me who's traveling around with a bunch of camera gear and really needs good organization. The inside opens like this, so I can actually stack cameras in here. It's really easy to organize. You've got this side where you just have, I got wires in here. You got like a secret compartment back here. That's typically where my money and important documents are. So if you ever see me, don't take that from me, I guess. You've got this whole front side as well that slaps down. Like, you've just got storage all over the place, and it has some really easily accessible slots. Like this one right here, this is great because I normally put like my passport right in here, so when I'm going through security and checking in for flights, I don't have to unpack the whole bag. I can just reach right in there. It's really nice. There's also this like really accessible side pocket, so that whole inside compartment that I just showed you right there, you can actually access that by just unzipping this part right here. This shows how infrequently I do this, but you can access it just like that, which is really nice. Grab whatever you want. So there's just tons and tons of storage, and it's just a premium backpack. Like, this thing has been all over the world. I am rough with this thing. It is still in great shape. It's got a magnetic water bottle holder thing, which is pretty nice collapsible wise. It's got great zippers on it, comfortable straps, nice padding in the back. I also carry around a pretty big laptop, a 16-inch MacBook Pro, and it actually has a designated spot right here just for laptops. This material in here is really, really soft, really good for the laptop, and it's hugged up against your back, so I always feel really secure traveling with it. I know I'm never gonna break the laptop because there's a lot of padding on this back, and then it actually has like these waist straps, so it's just a really good bag overall. It's got these awesome like handles all over the bag, so you can pick it up from any angle. Like, you could just be really rough with this thing, toss it around. It's been phenomenal. I can't recommend it enough. I gotta go pick that up because I'm gonna show you my next thing, which is this right here. Same company, also designed by Peter McKinnon. I'll show you what this does. And it actually slots in right at the top. Like, it was designed for this. So whenever I'm traveling, it is so nice. I can put this in here. And what's really great about that, while it packs up into that bigger piece, if you just unzip it right here, you have also really nice padded storage where I can put cameras or anything that might be fragile down there. So I don't lose that space in the backpack. I can still fill that. But even more importantly, you unzip this other layer and this thing actually becomes a day pack. So it also is really comfortable. And again, when you get to your destination, you take it out, unzip it, and now you've got a day pack, so you don't have to lug around that huge backpack. And this is exactly what I do. I just take this around everywhere. You'll never see me without this thing. I use it on a daily basis. This is what I carry around my laptop when I'm hopping around to cafes and just filming things around the city. It's great. It's a really nice size, comfortable, high quality. It is a bit pricey. I think it's like $120. You might be able to save a little bit if you buy it bundled with the bigger backpack. I think I waited a few months and just bought this as an add-on, but it's been great. If there's one downside to it, it's that my laptop, because it's 16 inches, it's just a little bit big. I can fit it in this top compartment, but it gets a little bit tight, and the problem is it kind of weighs down on this bottom part and can make this a little bit inaccessible. So if you have a bigger laptop, this might not be the thing for you. If you've got like a 13-inch laptop or anything under, or you're not going to carry a laptop, this is going to be perfect. But I've actually solved the problem. Instead of having to deal with this collapsing on the other things, I ended up buying this thing, which once again, really small. Look at this. This is another backpack made by that same company, Nomadic. This one is not the Daypack Camera Cube. This is just a standard backpack, and this one's really nice. Again, really nice and tiny, so it's easy to pack. And same thing, you unzip it and voila, you got another big backpack. So this one fits the 16-inch laptop, no problem. Really comfy, padded support. Once again, like everything that I bought from this company, while it is expensive, this one I think was like $100, they're fantastic. Like, the quality is better than anything that I've experienced, and I'll definitely continue buying from them. So if you are in that premium market and really care about the quality of the bags, these ones are probably gonna go the distance. They're not gonna quit on you early, so might be something worth checking out if you're interested in it. Now, let's say you're not in the market for a $300-400 backpack. That's pretty understandable. I wasn't when I started traveling either, and that's why I started with this thing. It's a WITZMAN backpack. I got it off of Amazon. I thought it looked cool. Not real leather. There's nothing fancy about this thing. I think I got it for like 70 bucks, might be 80 at this point, but it does the trick. It's a pretty big backpack. You can store a ton. This is not your fancy thing, no special organization, just one really big pocket where you can store a lot of stuff, especially if you have packing cubes, you can stuff them in there. Otherwise, it's pretty standard, but what I really love about this thing, the zippers are actually pretty high quality for a $70 backpack, and also these straps, they are so comfortable, it just feels like you're being hugged from behind. We've packed this thing to the max, and it just doesn't hurt the shoulders much because these straps, they're really, really thick. They've got a lot of padding on them, and it's pretty great. And one other thing that we rarely use, but other people might, is there's this Velcro feature up here. You can actually lay that straight down on the bag, zip this up, and treat it as more of like a duffel bag. So it doubles as duffel / backpack. It's a great backpack for 70 to 80 bucks. You can't go wrong, especially if you're in the market for something cheap. Probably wouldn't say this is the bag that you should get. I definitely try to go with something a little bit nicer because the nomadic bag, it definitely makes life a lot easier. But if you're on that budget or just going for a short-term trip, this thing is awesome. Can't recommend it enough. There's a reason why we still travel with it. Also, if you stick around, by the end of this, I'm going to show you one of the most game-changing products that I have found. It has made my life so much easier in travel. I'm saving it for the end, so first I'm going to show you this. The next thing that I don't really go anywhere without is this universal travel charger. It's by EPICKA? I don't know. Another thing that I found on Amazon, pretty cheap, like $20, something like that. And the reason that I got this one is it has a lot of charging ports. So it has 4 USB ports down at the bottom, as well as a USB-C port right here. The slide out function to get to your different ports is really, really easy. And yeah, it hasn't broke. It hasn't done me wrong. So I keep traveling with it. Like I said, I think it was around the $20 range, and it's done everything I needed to do. If there is one word of caution on this thing, because this is only a $20 unit, this is not one of those that does like the voltage converter. If you don't know what I'm talking about, sometimes like when you're traveling in Europe, they send a lot of voltage through. So if you were to try to use like a hair dryer, curling iron, things like that, it might end up damaging that product. But if you're just going to use things for like a laptop charger, phone charger, this thing should work just fine. I've had a really good experience with it. It's worked really well for 2.5 years, so no complaints on my end for a product that was only 20 bucks. Now, the next thing that I always make sure to travel with are just Airtags. It is so convenient to just pop these into your luggage and make sure that you're able to track it at any given point. So if you don't know how these things work, basically it's just a little GPS. It hooks up to your iPhone and you can track anything you want. So we throw these in our luggage and backpack just to make sure, hey, if anybody were to ever run off with our luggage, we know where it is. If an airline were to lose our luggage, we can tell them where it is. So it just helps bring that peace of mind in knowing that the things that are most important to us, considering that we travel with our entire life in our bags, we know where it is at all time. And yeah, it just helps in the process. So definitely doesn't hurt to get these. We got a pack of 4 on Amazon for like 87 bucks. It's a little bit pricey, but honestly, it's been well worth the price in our mind because it really does bring that peace of mind. This next thing is something that I didn't actually want when I was starting travel, but got it as a gift. And that's a little passport booklet. Turns out these things are actually really nice. Has space for your passport. We have extra things like passport pictures because apparently those are important. That's my mugshot, I guess. Social security card. I've got some visas in here. Apparently Indonesia visa, stuff like that. It's just really useful to be able to stay organized. There's not going to be a link for any specific one because again, I got this as a gift. You could pick up any of them. I'm sure they're fine, but definitely is useful to stay organized and be able to just carry this around on that day of travel to make sure that you got all your documents ready and just not be that person holding up lines and panicking looking for a specific document. It's all in here. Makes travel easier. Now, the next thing that I will never step foot abroad or even domestically without is just this specific wallet. This is one of those Ridge wallets. They're like $100, which is maybe a little bit steep for a wallet, but this thing has held up really, really well. I've been using this for over 3 years now, and there's really 2 things that I love about it. One is just the size. It is really small. It is the exact size of a credit card, right? So that's awesome. I just have my card and my ID in there. It's really easy to slide things in and out. You just pop it up, grab the card out. But what's really nice from a travel safety perspective is this has that RFID, I think that's the order, technology in it, which basically means scammers cannot have their special machines that they are waving around and walking through to basically pick up your credit card numbers. The actual case blocks those signals, so it makes sure that nobody is ever able to swipe your cards. So is the wallet really anything all that crazy? No, not really. It's just a low profile, which I personally like, especially when traveling. I don't need a bulky wallet. I want as little stuff as possible and things to be as small and compact as possible. So it checks that box. And obviously it just brings that peace of mind knowing that I'm not going to have my card swiped while I'm abroad. If that's ever happened to you, you know just how much of a nightmare that can be, trying to get card and access to your money while you're abroad, trying to contact your bank. It's something I don't want to have to deal with. So this just brings that peace of mind. Now, this next thing is this bad boy right here. It's called a HEROCLIP, and I was skeptical about this at first, but what this allows for is you just hook it up to your backpack or really whatever you want, and it slides out in this unique way, and it basically just allows you to hang your bag from anything. So watch. If you clip it to something like your backpack like this, it can support a lot of weight. I think it says 50 pounds, and there's different sizes that you can get on this. But this little hook right here does a really good job hooking to like any surface. I've attached this to trees, hung it on metal, everything in between. I don't know. It basically just hangs like that, and it's great. It just allows you to make sure that, hey, your backpack or whatever you're hanging on this doesn't have to touch the floor. If you're on a train, nice to be able to hang this rather than taking up floor space. And just wherever you are, when you're traveling, a lot of times there's just not extra hooks around. There's not a lot of storage space, and this kind of can create storage space out of anything, because as long as you've got some little ledge that is at least a centimeter, you can hang this on it, and it's really strong and supportive. Again, been using this for the entire time that we've been abroad, and overall I've been really pleased with it. Definitely will continue to travel with this. So for 20 bucks, again, a product that might actually be pretty convenient for you. Consider picking one up if that seems like something that you'd like. The next thing that I've been traveling with the entire time and absolutely love is this bad boy right here, which is... That was pretty dramatic. It's a travel towel. It's a quick dry travel towel from I think like Wise Owl or something. Again, like 20 bucks, and I've gotten so much really good use out of it. This is the extra large size, so it actually is pretty big, like could be like a cape or something. It's pretty solid, but what's great about this is one, it's really lightweight, which means I can pack it. It's not weighing down my suitcase. I normally always bring this in my day pack just so I can lay it out on a patch of grass. If there's a wet seat, I use this, wipe it up. If I'm jumping in a lake, I always just have it. I don't know, it's just really useful to have, and they dry really quick, like 10-15 minutes. And this thing will be completely dry. It's just really convenient, always nice to have around, really low profile. I love it. I'm gonna continue traveling with it. Now this next one has been the absolute biggest game changer for me. I didn't learn about this till about a year ago, and it has changed the way I traveled. So see if this makes sense to you. Normally when you travel abroad, you land, you turn on your cell phone, and what are you met with? You're like, oh man, I don't have any cell phone coverage. What am I gonna do, right? Well, those days are over. Now there's something called an eSIM, and this company Airalo that I've used a lot and had really good experiences with, you can go and buy an eSIM, which is data for your phone. That means when you land in whatever country you're going to, you will actually have data. You can use your phone. You can be able to call an Uber, use your maps, use the internet, which like, for the first year, I wasn't doing that, and I was just lost. It was such an inconvenience, and it is so easy. That way, when you land, you just turn on your phone and it works. You can use your internet, you can order an Uber, you can use your maps, everything like normal, minus calls and text, but you don't really need that, right? You just need to be able to navigate wherever the heck you're going, and now you can do that. So wherever I go, I typically buy 20 gigs of data. Some countries have 5G, others it's still 3G, but the Airalo app will tell you what speeds you're getting, and it's just so convenient. You can buy as little as 1 gig for like $4.50. You can buy, I think the top package is typically 20 gigs, and that runs you about $30. So between $4 and $30 to make sure that your phone actually works abroad. it is just so nice, especially when you think like some cell phone carriers like Verizon, they charge like 10 bucks a day if you're abroad, right? Well, if you're over 3 days, you might as well just buy the eSIM and you're set. If there's one thing you need to know about it though, your phone does have to be unlocked to be able to actually download the eSIM. Typically that means your phone is paid off in full, but you don't always have to do this. If you just call your actual phone carrier and say, hey, I'm going abroad, I need this unlocked for an eSIM, they'll likely just unlock the phone for you. That's what they did for me, at least, thanks T-Mobile. So it's just a really, really convenient thing. I don't even step onto the plane before I know that I'm gonna have my cell phone coverage when I arrive in that destination. So super convenient. It's making travel so much easier, and I just can't recommend them enough. I've tried a bunch of the different eSIMs, and Airalo has been the most consistent with both just speeds, customer service, and I actually like their app. It'll tell you on that app how much data you have left throughout the month or whatever period of time you're buying for, so you can easily top it up, add more data. It makes travel so much easier. So definitely look into that before your next international trip. Now, if you have any questions on any of the products that I've mentioned, or have any other questions about how I travel, feel free to ask them in the comment section down below, and feel free to subscribe if you want to follow our journey in moving to a new country every month. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll catch you guys next time.